Hello everyone and welcome to episode 22 of our Aston Martin Save. This is the final episode of season 1 and it's the Flintstones' favourite Grand Prix this weekend. Most cities don't screen their show but Abu Dhabi do. And we've started on a massive high this weekend, haven't we? Right, nothing much to tell you about in terms of contracts. We're going to look at that at the end of the season. That'll be on Tuesday's episode. Let me know down in the comments, should we keep either of these two drivers? Should we get some young guns in? Or what experienced drivers should we sign? It is the Yas Marina circuit, but before we get into that, we've got to have a look at the standings. Going into the final race of the season, Ferrari have well and truly got the Constructors' Championship wrapped up by quite a distance from Red Bull in second. Nothing to play for there at the top of the Constructors. But in the bottom reaches, it's all to play for. We could finish as high as 7th. We could finish as low as 9th. P8 is our target from the board, remember. So something to be aware of in that respect. If we have a look at the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc has got it. He's got his first F1 title. Carlos Sainz a comfortable P2, but not so comfortable because Max Verstappen could nick that off him. We'll see how that progresses. But let's have a look at the circuit now and what we can expect this weekend. So as we know, the Yas Marina circuit was the scene for one of the greatest final laps in F1 World Championship history. No matter what side of the divide you were on, it was a fantastic and exciting climax to one hell of a season. We're not quite going to get that this time round, but as we can see, 2009 was the first Grand Prix year, 58 laps around this circuit. Max Verstappen holds the lap record of a 1:26.1. Car attributes: top speed, very important around here, but also low speed cornering, which again, we're pretty decent at, not so good at the top speed. The expected strategies is the medium onto hard one stop. There is the opportunity for a two stop, dependent on safety cars, or if Nicholas Latifi decides he wants to bin it, or maybe even Sebastian Vettel, who knows. What we're going to do now, I'm going to get through practice, get all that sorted out. We'll see you in qualifying for the final race of this season.
We're at Yas Island in Abu Dhabi for the Formula One Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit was completed in 2009 and we've seen a fair share of celebration and commiseration over the years since then. The scenery may be spectacular, but this weekend, all eyes will be on the track. There's a reason why the Yas Marina circuit is used as a test track. The long straights put engine power through its paces, while the twists and bends make medium speed downforce just as important at this challenging circuit. With the season nearly concluded, time is running out for the teams. Can anyone make a last-minute breakthrough? Can the leading drivers hold on? Only time will tell. Okay then, let's get to it.
Right, the final laps of qualifying one. And interestingly, Sebastian Vettel, we had to retire the car. On his way back from his flying lap, we didn't see any replays, any crash or anything. We must have a technical fault with Sebastian Vettel's car, which has meant that we've had to retire, which means we've only got one car that can possibly get through to Q2. Now, I'm not holding much up. We are quite a distance. We're about 6/10 back from Kevin Magnussen. He has gone green through that first sector, so that's a positive. But yeah, very, very strange. We didn't see it happen on the pit wall. And we just got a notification from Sebastian Vettel's race engineer saying we need to retire the car set. So not a fantastic qualifying for Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll is green through both first and second sectors. He has got the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, I believe, up behind him. So that's going to slow that Mercedes down. But let's see, as Lance Stroll comes around the final corner, is he going to massively improve? Is he going to jump his teammate? He isn't. He's improved by a 10th. That's quite a disappointing qualifying for us. Maybe that sets us up for the kind of race, what we can expect. But we'll get to the strategy screen now and see what we can do strategy-wise. So, pretty simple. Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll both on the same strategy, both starting on the mediums. It gives us flexibility in case it's a safety car. We're going to push at the start, see how far we can go. See if we can nick a couple of places early doors. 16th and 17th for our guys, so nothing majorly crazy by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see if we can make up some places early and we'll go from there. It could be a long race. It's been that kind of season. Thank you for sticking with us. Let's get to 5 red lights and see if we can make it a memorable finale to season 1.
And there's Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. Everything's been building to this. Hold on tight, it's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. And by the way, let's just take note of this sunset. Fantastic, just off topic. But Sebastian Vettel, early doors, will ride on board with that man. As we go into turn one, he's got an AlphaTauri of Tsunoda in front of him, then Fernando Alonso. Remember, Alonso and Gasly, we reckon are probably the best performing drivers so far this season. They're the two that we might be having a look at getting entitled into Aston Martin if we don't keep hold of the two guys we've got. But a decent start for Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll as well, P16. He's the man in front. He's having a look at this AlphaTauri early doors. He's got that overtake on. We've decided to use ERS early doors in this Grand Prix, try and make up a bit of time, and then hopefully cling on to the DRS of these quicker cars. But Lance Stroll is going for a move here. Is he going to get it done? Sebastian Vettel, he's tucked in behind him here. But Lance Stroll has got the inside into that corner, then round the outside. Can he make this move stick early doors in the first lap of this Grand Prix? Max Verstappen does lead from Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Like I said, there's not much to be sorted out at the front of the grid and at the front of the pack now. It's all done and dusted. Charles Leclerc has got his world title. There's going to be no big climax at the end of this season. But Sebastian Vettel, P17, can he get past Tsunoda? Probably not at this moment in time. But Lance Stroll, he's had a positive start, Lance Stroll. Now having a look at the back of Alonso, a man who is tipped to replace him, as we've said. But we are going to look at a variety of drivers at the end of this season. We're going to clear up, get the board meetings done. Hopefully, Aston Martin see reason to keep us as team principal. That would be ideal. But Lance Stroll, not been a bad start at all from the man. And once we've got these first couple of laps over and DRS is enabled, that's when we'll take the ERS usage off and just start to manage that a bit more effectively. But while this is happening, we'll have a look at the front, because there is Max Verstappen in this glorious sunset, followed by the two Ferraris. Lewis Hamilton currently in P4, Sergio Perez P5, Valtteri Bottas doing well as well. Another driver we could possibly have a look at if we want to go down the experience route of P6. Then comes George Russell, Guan Yu Zhou P8, had a good season, the rookie. Pierre Gasly P9, and then Kevin Magnussen. Remember, we need to really outscore Haas and McLaren, or just hope that they don't gain more than 8 points on us, Haas. So there's a lot to play for in terms of our constructors. But yeah, Lance Stroll defending very hard there against Yuki Tsunoda. And that, as a result of that, Yuki Tsunoda has lost over a second to Lance Stroll. So if Lance Stroll can keep his foot down, Yuki Tsunoda could be very vulnerable to Sebastian Vettel. We're just going to knock Sebastian Vettel down to neutral on his ERS usage. We're going to keep Lance Stroll as he is, but Lance Stroll's pulling away here from Yuki Tsunoda. Maybe Yuki Tsunoda's got a little bit of damage. Maybe they were coming together there. They didn't appear to be. We'll have a look on board with Sebastian Vettel, because he is right up the gearbox of Yuki Tsunoda. And like I said, DRS now enabled. This could pose opportunities for us at the end of lap 2, coming on to lap 3. This is where we should get a bit of DRS, and we should be able to start making moves on the guys in front. We'll get both of these guys now back down to neutral. We'll save a bit on the fuel as well. But Sebastian Vettel should be able to just latch onto this AlphaTauri. That'll be absolutely splendid. And Lance Stroll, as long as he keeps Tsunoda out of distance, as long as he keeps Tsunoda out of that DRS range, he can just tuck on to the back of Fernando Alonso. So that's the plan. Lap 3, let's see how we go. And just as we predicted, Sebastian Vettel had the DRS, Yuki Tsunoda didn't, and Sebastian Vettel just drove past him pretty nicely on that straight. And Lance Stroll, as we can see, trying to just keep up with the cars in front on lap 3, and he defended well there, Sebastian Vettel. Fair play. Lap 4, and this could be big for the Constructors' Championship. Kevin Magnussen, who was running around P10, locks up and goes into the wall. Kevin Magnussen is a driver I particularly like in real life. He is a driver I would like driving for me, but he's made a lot of mistakes. I'd probably say, apart from Sebastian Vettel, he's been one of the most error-prone even drivers so far this season. So we don't want scenes like that at Aston Martin next year. Lance Stroll, meanwhile, trying to keep up with Fernando Alonso and doing an alright job of that. Sebastian Vettel is now back behind Tsunoda. But yeah, he's keeping up with him. It's not the end of the world. Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda and Vettel are in a little bit of a battle of their own, a little bit of a train of their own. But it's all about keeping Lance Stroll up with Fernando Alonso. But Fernando Alonso is losing a lot of time to those McLarens in front. And meanwhile, at the front, Carlos Sainz is now leading the Grand Prix from Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc in third. The top 5 separated by probably under a second. So there's a lot of battling to do here, and anybody could win this. Lap 4. Lap 5, quick check-in on the constructors. As things stand, Haas need to outscore us by 5 points, and if we go back to the race view, it's not looking like they're going to do so far today. Mick Schumacher is in P16. He's down battling with Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel really needs to beat the young German today. Kevin Magnussen, obviously after that early incident, is in P20, and he's just come out onto the hard compounded tyre. Lance Stroll just about hanging onto the back of Fernando Alonso, but it's not easy at all, and Fernando Alonso is starting to pull out a gap. Lance Stroll doesn't seem to have the pace to keep with him at this moment in time, and he's in danger of losing DRS on lap 6. He's just about got it this time, and that'll pull him right back up towards Fernando Alonso, but there is a slow car in front. Is that Danny Ricciardo? They looked a slow car in front. He looked a bit like Danny Ricciardo there, was going particularly slow. Whether McLaren was swapping the cars, but Danny Ricciardo, both McLarens are in decent looking positions to score points this afternoon. Lap 6. Lance Stroll has had a bad couple of laps. He's lost positions to Tsunoda and Mick Schumacher. That was a very aggressive move as well across there, Mick Schumacher. I wouldn't be too happy if I was the man driving the Haas there. But Lance Stroll doesn't seem to have the pace to keep up with these at the moment. Whether it's tyres, whatever it is, he's now just got to hang on to the back of Mick Schumacher. And Mick Schumacher has lost the DRS to Tsunoda, which is not ideal either. So that's going to pose us problems as we try to keep up with the main pack here. Sebastian Vettel, he's in a bit of a league of his own at the moment. 17th, he's behind Lance Stroll. He's got Kevin Magnussen who can't unlap himself. So Lance Stroll is our main hope here. We might have to box Sebastian Vettel early to try and change this up a little bit for us. Lap 9. Lap 21, Lance Stroll, under a lot of pressure, as you can see, has just spun it. That has brought out yellow flags. It's not brought out a safety car. Sebastian Vettel, we have considered now changing onto the soft compound tyre. That is a glitch. He's not on the soft compound. He's currently on the medium. But yeah, Sebastian Vettel, try something a little bit different maybe to just give him a little boost, get him back in the race. But lap 22, it's not looking promising at all for either of our guys, and that spin has not helped Lance Stroll either. Lap 22. Lap 22, Sebastian Vettel is in for the soft compounded tyre. I'm hoping I'm going to go about 20 laps on these, and then we're going to shift back onto the mediums towards the end of the race. So it's just to try and get him back in the mix somehow, because at this moment in time, he certainly isn't in the mix. So Sebastian Vettel back out, P17, clear air in front of him. He's got a bit of distance to go to get back to Fernando Alonso, I would imagine. 21 seconds. Let's see what sort of lap times he starts putting in. But Lance Stroll is due to come in very shortly, as well as the front guys are pitting at this moment in time. Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen also in. So Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. Lap 24, Lance Stroll is in for his pit stop. Competitor has spun, somebody else has spun on circuit. Lance Stroll on the A strategy, plan A for Lance Stroll. He's just going onto the hard compounded tyre, and this little theme with Kevin Magnussen keeps happening. He's doing a lot of spinning, a lot of donuts at this moment in time. Not a drive that I feel we could trust with next season's car. So Lance Stroll comes out P16. Sebastian Vettel definitely has made up some ground, it must be said, on Lance Stroll. He's very much up with him now. So it'll be interesting to see what Lance Stroll now is on for the rest of the race. So he's just going to carry on with that. We don't want Lance Stroll to fight Sebastian Vettel either. We'd rather Lance Stroll save the tyre and just get pulled along by Sebastian Vettel when he gets there. Lap 25. Lap 27, safety car. We're just awaiting a replay of what happens. It looks like he's one of the McLarens that's out. And this is really going to bring Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel back into play. He's going to pit for the hard compounded tyre now, Sebastian Vettel. But yeah, Lando Norris just absolutely slamming it into the wall there. That's one of the McLarens out, so that's good for the constructors as well. Kevin Magnussen is back down in P20, so the interesting thing will be now, do we manage to catch back up to the safety car? Sebastian Vettel's going to pit. We're going to harvest ERS as well for both our guys. And hopefully, this will... Let's have a look. Where is the safety car? Safety car is not going to pick him up for a little while yet. This could be absolutely fantastic for us. We'll just speed this on. We'll get Sebastian Vettel in the pits. We'll watch that pit stop of Sebastian Vettel's. So he's coming in here. He's coming in for the hard compounded tyre, as you can see. Lovely stuff. And he's away. He's going to be on nice, fresh, hard compounded tyre now, Sebastian Vettel. And he's not going to lose a plate either by the looks of things. So that's great work for him. We'll come back when we're back to green flag running. Now, we've said this once or twice before. This is where this game really has a flaw, because she doesn't allow the guys at the back to catch up with the safety car before we go back to green flag running. We're still 15 seconds behind. And it's not right. It's not right at all. Now we're back to green flag running. Maybe our guys will manage to catch it up a little bit. Lance Stroll's nearly on the back of the train. But yeah, massively disappointing that it doesn't let you catch up. But also the guys squabbling in front, it might just allow us to catch up a little bit. But Charles Leclerc is leading from Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton and Russell in P5 and 6. Then comes Joe and Bottas, strong showing from Alfa Romeo, Pierre Gasly in P9, Fernando Alonso, El Plan P10. Lap 41, and I know it's been a while, but there's something very concerning happening at the front. Mick Schumacher is currently in P7, and it's time to get a little bit nervous about it, because that could mean for us that we lose P8 in the Drivers' Championship. So let's say the constructors, we do. If Mick Schumacher stays where he is, we need Mick Schumacher to drop down the rankings a little bit. He has got Charles Leclerc behind him, who I'm hoping he's going to manage to get past him. He should do. Charles Leclerc should get done by Charles Leclerc should get Mick Schumacher, I should say. But Mick Schumacher could really do this for Haas, as Yuki Tsunoda smashes into the... Oh my word. Safety car is out. Are we going to learn from our errors? We will come back. Let's have a look at this. Right, we've not changed tyres, but this time we've caught with the safety car. We can push on fuel towards the end of the Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel's on decently fresh tyres as well, that must be said. But he's got a lot of medium compound runners in front of him. Lance Stroll is the man. We need to make some moves off this first bit here. And the reason behind that is Danny Ricciardo, we're not fussed about. Charles Leclerc should get past Mick Schumacher. Hopefully so should Esteban Ocon. But we've got to be in there. A single point could be absolutely massive for our team. We're hoping we can make some kind of move straight off the bat. Normal racing conditions are going to be resumed shortly, but it's going to be Max Verstappen who leads us away from Carlos Sainz and then Lewis Hamilton. All eyes are on Lance Stroll really. He's our main hope in this Grand Prix. Is he going to be able to make a move up early on? He doesn't get a great launch on the restart, but he's going to be behind Danny Ricciardo. We're really keeping an eye. We need Charles Leclerc to get past Mick Schumacher, and we could do with a couple of other cars following him through as well. But Charles Leclerc is the one on mediums, and what are these guys behind us going to do? Russell, Gasly and Zhou, are they going to start to make moves as well? Charles Leclerc already looks like he's trying to go for a move on the junior Haas. Can he get past Mick Schumacher? Charles Leclerc giving it everything on this long straight here at Abu Dhabi this evening now. In the desert, it's a fantastic looking circuit this as well. But Charles Leclerc can't make the move early doors here. But he's stalking the young German. Valtteri Bottas just in front. Charles Leclerc is going to want to be making moves. How close is Esteban Ocon? He's struggling to keep up with the Ferrari. Lance Stroll is struggling to keep up with the McLaren. I don't reckon we can really affect this too much, but we have got fuel to burn for the last 14 laps as well. I'm hoping that's going to pay dividends. We haven't got to conserve. We should be okay, and we will start to push the tyres as we see fit. But keeping in that DRS is going to be absolutely key for Lance Stroll for the next couple of laps. Charles Leclerc is right up the gearbox of Mick Schumacher. We're more interested in this position, this battle, than his own at this moment in time, although Lance Stroll could do it for us. Charles Leclerc getting past Mick Schumacher would be a massive bonus. And the other thing to consider is, if any of these guys in front crash, that could be us down to P9 in the constructors as well. So there's a lot to play for in the last 13, 14 laps here in Abu Dhabi. Lance Stroll is really struggling to keep up with Danny Ricciardo, and George Russell is now all over the back of Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll has fell out of the DRS of Danny Ricciardo as well. But I think we're going to see Charles Leclerc make the move here, are we? He's going to get a decent run off that corner. Charles Leclerc, no DRS enabled yet. Mick Schumacher should be a sitting duck by the time DRS is enabled. That is the hope. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll's managing somehow to keep in with Danny Ricciardo, but not by much. It must be said, Sebastian Vettel very much can. Should have crashed. Should have crashed.
Keep pushing.
But didn't. Really should have crashed there, Sebastian Vettel. He's so lucky he's not smashed that car to pieces there. We'll get him on overtake a little bit as well. But lap 45, all eyes on Charles Leclerc. We just have not got the pace this afternoon to make any sort of moves in this race. We're just holding these guys up. And to be honest with you, I'm at the point now where I'd rather let them go and let them chase after that Haas and Mick Schumacher, who is somehow holding onto the back of Charles Leclerc. We need Danny Ricciardo to get a shift on. But I'm hoping George Russell, Pierre Gasly, some of these guys on the medium compound can start making a move as well. But it's all eyes on the front because, like I said, as things stand at this moment in time, if we have a look at the Constructors' Championship, we are just keeping on to P8. If Mick Schumacher gains a position, we've had it. Lap 48, there's nothing we can do to affect the situation. Nothing we can do at all to affect this situation. All we're going to do is tell Lance Stroll not to fight his teammate and just get on with it here. But come on, Danny Rick, come on, Esteban Ocon, and come on, George Russell and Pierre Gasly. Make sure you swallow that Haas and Mick Schumacher up. Lap 48. And we come to it on the last lap. There's not been much to shout about from our race point of view at all. Charles Leclerc has battled his way all the way to the front. We would have possibly pit on the safety car. But the fact that you just can't catch up with the front trike, the front safety car, and try and catch up and get in the train, it'd have been pointless for us. 14th and 15th is very much about where we are. But look at this. Mick Schumacher has dropped down to P10. And as things stand, we are going to maintain P8 in the Constructors' Championship. That is the most important thing that we could have come out of Abu Dhabi here tonight. It's been a tough evening. We've not had the pace. We've had a difficult first season as team principal. As we're watching the cars go around, we can reflect on that now. It's been a tough first season for us at Aston Martin. We got asked to get P8. We've got P8, and as things stand by the skin of his teeth, we've managed it. Next season, there's going to be a lot of changes in drivers and staff and a lot of different things. We've got some decent money in bank. Hopefully, we can get a decent powertrain in as well. So we've got a lot of different options. All that will be coming to you on Tuesday. We'll get all the pre-season stuff done and get ready for the start of the new season and see who we get as the drivers. As we said, have a look below, comment, say if it's the driver you think we should have. Maybe we should have Magnussen and Vettel, and then we can just watch spins all the way through next season. But that's not the plan. We do want to be a little bit more competitive. Charles Leclerc has won, and as we watch, we might watch the final few corners of Sebastian Vettel's career here at Aston Martin. He has won us the most points, and in fairness, he's probably won us 8th place in the Constructors' Championship. But the amount of times he screwed us over, but just 2 episodes ago, he comes across and nearly gets a win. Should we keep him on the basis of that? Maybe he'll retire, who knows? But Sebastian Vettel crosses the line here in Abu Dhabi. He doesn't, he's run out of petrol. Sebastian Vettel's run out of petrol, and that's how it's going to end this season. That's a bit disappointing for him. I thought we'd be alright to get towards the end. But Lance Stroll, P14, we'll ignore that. But Mick Schumacher, P10, 0.3 of a second behind Alonso. But for the Constructors' title, for the Constructors' Championship, I should say, we'll have a look now. We'll fast forward. We've completed his first season as team principal. Fair play, guys. P8 it was. And if we have a look at the Constructors, there it is confirmed. 4 points clear of Haas. You'd be a bit gutted if you were Gunter Steiner. They certainly don't look like a bunch of legends in P9. Williams failing to score a single point, and Ferrari are your Constructors title winners. Drivers-wise, Charles Leclerc wins the Drivers' Championship. Fantastic for him. And we are probably going to round that up there. So thank you for sticking with us in this first season. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and we will be back on the next episode, pre-season Total Change. See you next time.